Now let's jump on the Bay Bridge or hop on BART so we can spend some time on Telegraph Avenue in Berkeley with Northgate reporter Royvi Hernandez and underground rapper and visual artist Señor Gigio.
These days, the Golden Gate Bridge don't look the same from the east.
You're listening to his single Bay Area Blue, which dropped this fall.
That's what they be saying, excuses be the cliche. Or am I the one who's different?
Señor Gigio's Ode to the Bay speaks to the sadness and to the resentment that lots of locals feel about how this region has changed.
I'm Bay Area blue, blue, blue.
That's Señor Gigio, and we're walking down Telegraph Avenue near UC Berkeley. He has a goatee and is wearing a black hat. It signals nonconformist. As we walk past empty storefronts, Señor Gigio tells me that you can see Bay Area blue throughout the street.
At one point, this whole street would just be all street vendors. Now it's just a lot of kind of the last few old-timers who are hanging on, doing that.
Damon Hunter is one of those old-timers. He's standing at a table full of handcrafted art, and behind him, there's a sign reading Bird Dude. As a bird lover myself, I had to ask. What is the Bird Dude? Is that your nickname?
If you don't give yourself a name, other people will. I've been feeding the pigeons for about 4 years.
Hunter says he's been a street vendor on Telegraph for 34 years. He says back in the day,
the first 2 blocks were completely full. And that was on the weekdays. And to get a good spot on the weekends, you had to actually show up in the morning and compete with the other vendors. Now, what do we have? Less than a dozen of us out on a Friday because people don't come anymore.
Same game, new players, still vacant. Old lot, no buyers, still vacant. Cheap food, no good, expensive prices. No chill, gentrified, ghetto paradises. I remember when the love was everywhere. You knew it was peace when you smelled that butt up in the air.
You don't really smell that butt up in the air anymore. And Gigio says he misses the smell of his favorite burrito joint or his favorite pizza spot.
This used to be the Fat Slice, which was iconic.
In its place now is a Bagel Street Cafe. Gigio was raised in Fairfield, but like a lot of teens in the Bay when he was growing up, he spent a lot of time on Telegraph and eating Fat Slice pizza.
Telegraph has been a mecca for culture and for young people for a long time. Even before I started getting a handle on my life, I was coming over here, getting pizza, going to the record stores and, meeting strangers and and striking conversations, smoking weed.
Across the street is a bus with an Ann Fong advertisement wrapped on the exterior. In his music video of Bay Area Blues, Señor Gigio is singing in front of the attorney's billboard. Those billboards where she has her arms crossed.
I thought that it would be a great opportunity to do my play on her slogan, "Is something wrong? Call Ann Fong." This one is just "Something is wrong."
Tall booths ain't even got no workers in them. Now I guess my money goes straight to the system. It was a little cooler when someone was there to crack a smile. But I suppose I'll save these tears for a crocodile.
He can one up that because he went to a show in West Oakland.
As we're coming up to Amoeba Music on the corner of Telegraph and Hay Street, we run into a couple of Gigio's friends.
The fuel gauge is that's weird. I thought I filled it up.
That's Billy Jan. He loves hip-hop and is a fan of Señor Gigio. He's also an Oakland Athletics fan. And Billy Jam says he's definitely feeling the Bay Area blue.
And today, too, the A's, the final day of the A's, just the shared feeling, a vibe that I have, too. I just feel what the hell happened to my Bay Area?
And I used to go to Oakland Raider games. I used to go to A's game. My dad, I was a kid. Those are childhood memories that I wanted to be able to do that with my kids, and I can't even be able to do that anymore.
That's Uthman Sabir. He worked at a Trader Joe's in El Cerrito Plaza, where Gigio shops, and he became a fan. In fact, he's wearing a Señor Gigio shirt.
It's kind of like one of those songs that touches the soul because it talks about what we used to have in the Bay Area.
San Francisco is a dream, that's what they selling me. It's so appealing, feeling, stealing all your energy.
Gigio says he recorded Bay Area Blue in 2022 with his producer Aquavision, and then they sat on it for 2 years.
I was concerned that maybe I might offend people or that some people might be ticked off about it, but it's been the opposite. That, for me, has been very humbling and healing for me.
Walking down Telegraph brings Gigio back to his teenage years.
Okay, so we're in front of the KALX sports bar and kitchen. Back in the day, it was Blake's.
That's where Gigio and his friends play their first gig, and he remembers musicians busking on the street. But when he walks down Telegraph these days, he feels the energy isn't the same as it used to be back then. Instead of bookstores that line the streets, there are dozens of boba spots. Gigio asks, why do we need so many boba shops?
The way I see it turning, it's becoming very homogenized, where it's only about cheap food, because it kind of looks to me like they're trying to turn the place into kind of like a little 15-minute city for the students.
Okay, let's head over to People's Park.
Yeah, well, we're looking at the unsightly takeover of People's Park, the historic landmark, the cultural landmark.
He's talking about the 17-foot wall of shipping containers blocking off the park.
It's depressing.
People's Park is a nearly 3-acre plot of land that was once the epicenter of the global counterculture movement and the site of the first major anti-war demonstration of the 60s.
Because the people who live in Berkeley have friends outside of Berkeley, and they can't understand why those people are put under curfew and why they're holding a rally of this type on Telegraph.
Gigio says back in the day, it was home to cultural events, like an underground hip-hop festival.
It was close to probably 2 decades of hip-hop in the park yearly. They did it around May. So I got to host it and perform 2011.
It was his first big gig as a solo artist. Those memories are now forever locked inside.
They've got these like shipping containers. They just stacked them.
Hang my soul on the wall inside of a gallery and lock the vault with the photos of all my memories.
Y'all ready? I'm ready to go. And one of the great minds of the Bay, Señor Gigio, is back with his new single that's described as a new wave hip-hop soul anthem for the Bay Area.
Bay Area Blue is about the Bay, but it's a feeling that resonates with artists in cities across America. And Chuck D, formerly part of the group Public Enemy, picked it up for his rap station in New York. Gigio was thrilled to be picked up by his idol. He says Public Enemy is one of his biggest influences as an artist.
They were really good at telling a story through the journey, where they build it up to where it's a whole experience. You know, it's not just all in your face all at once. Like, you have a lot to chew and digest.
Gigio is trying to do the same thing with Bay Area Blue, take you on his emotional journey. And listening to the song, you could draw the conclusion that the next path of Gigio's journey is to leave the Bay.
If the Bay isn't the same, why can't you go to another place?
Yikes. I mean,
it's obvious it's a question he's never pondered.
The Bay can't be recreated anywhere. We're a one-of-a-kind place, a one-of-a-kind history, and all of the things make it what it is.
Gigio says Bay Area Blue isn't a goodbye song. It's a song that grieves a bygone era.
I mean, that's been huge for me. The healing to be able to express sadness, the healing to be able to cry, you know, the healing to be able to like lament what we lost.
It's impossible to move forward without acknowledging one's grief. The next step is wiping our collective tears and creating a better Bay. From Berkeley, I'm Royvi Hernandez.
San Francisco is a dream, that's what they selling me. Yes, I am. I'm Bay Area Blues.
What better way to shake off your Bay Area blues than sweating on the dance floor in Oakland to some house music?